What's going on, Jaded?
How's it going, Nate?
No comic lizard this week?
She's been a little bit under the weather.
She's taken the year off so far?
Yeah, you could say that.
Good times. All right, so let me bring a background in here. I am so behind, sadly. So let's see. This is a good background. We got some resolutions. So we haven't seen each other since before Christmas.
Has it been that long? I guess it has, huh?
It has. How was your holiday?
It was good, considering it's the first Christmas that we've spent outside of California. We had a pretty good time. It was fairly low key, but this is our first year having a Christmas tree, so you can.
Since you've been married?
Yeah.
Haven't you guys been married like before the prequels?
Yeah. We've been married for this year, 2023 is going to be 25 years.
Wow. And you met in high school, right?
No.
Shortly after?
Yeah, a couple years after. I think we were officially dating right before I turned 20, so we were hanging out before that, but definitely right before I turned 20, we were officially boyfriend and girlfriend.
All right. Well, as much as I love just talking to you, Jaded Geek, I think we're going to need something electrifying. So I'm going to add to the stream.
Woo!
The most electrifying man in any garage around.
That's right. Today we are in my garage again. Happy belated birthday, brother. How you doing?
Whose birthday?
Wasn't it your birthday, dude?
No, it was Steve's birthday.
It was Sanchez's birthday.
I swore I saw it was your birthday. Okay. Then
It's also known as Goblin Day in Finland.
I took the goblin out for his birthday already, so he was taken care of. I thought it was your birthday, Jade. So all right.
No. I appreciate the sentiment, but no.
Awesome.
Where's Liz at?
She's here. She's just feeling a little bit under the weather.
Oh, so. Send the fuzzy love, dude. Send the fuzzy love.
I will definitely do
that. All right, fellas. So we've got some improvisations to do. Usually we come into this with a bit of homework, and it's a busy season for everybody. So we're kind of limping into the live stream. It's to be understandable. We're pretty good at talking random shit, and if worse comes to worse, then we will start our series, our 2023 series of Fuzzies Comic-Con Adventures.
Okay, we can do that. So did you guys all give up on Willow then? You done with it?
You know,
no, I'm currently.
I've been watching Willow, but I gave up on the National Treasure.
Mm-hmm. I watched the one scene and called it a day.
The restroom scene?
And I laughed and called it a day. I said, I'm good, dude. I could get beat. I could get beat in the head somewhere else, dude. So
is that not the thing though?
Yeah.
The thing is that just when you think that they found a way to hit rock bottom, it turns out that they've shattered another glass floor and found a way to plummet further into the abyss. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're always talking about the Indian movies and stuff like that, and how they portray a strong woman, almost in a perfect way where you're not beaten over the head with it, and they don't have to degrade everybody. I literally am just walking in from seeing Avatar, and I think Cameron's the only one that has done that too, where it's not, like the chick is the baddest bitch in all the whole movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's badass.
Did he make all the men weak though?
No, oh no. It was equal all around. Like, it was a legit, like, old school movie. Like, it just looked good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, but like when I was watching it, there's like a great sequence at the end with the mom, and I was like, damn, dude, that's dope. Like, they made her more badass than these fucking Marines. You know what I mean? Like, but Cameron, I think he's able to do that. I mean, he gave us Ripley, Sarah Connor. You know what I mean? Like, it's not hard for him to portray that. He always does a good job with that. So, I mean, he continues to do it in this one. And I hated the first Avatar, and I actually like this one. So he's actually improving as it's going, I think.
Okay, he's losing his audacity in his old age.
yeah. It was pretty good. But like when I was watching Willow, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm not the toughest motherfucker in the world, but damn, dude, I'm tougher than these guys, dude. Like, I kick their ass, dude. Like, what the hell? Okay, and then so you guys are all caught up on it, right?
Yeah.
So you saw my hero.
What's up with the
Christian
trolls
Slater?
from the valley?
Those guys were awesome.
Dude, it was like Pauly Shore and Brendan Fraser fell out of Encino Man and into the caves of Terrace Lean or whatever the
those
fuck
were the
they were.
woke. They were the woke people in that universe. But I'm like, so whoever made this, right? Remember, I was saying loves Young Guns because of that scene, and who's in this episode? None other than my hero, Christian Slater, aka Arkansas Dave Rudabaugh from fucking Young Guns 2, and he's the guy that delivers that same fucking scene. I was like, this guy, whoever it is, man, they really they got their chops from Young Guns 2.
Arkansas Dave Rudabaugh. Man,
this show is so irritating and so hackneyed. The last episode 5. I don't know if you guys noticed the. Hey, shut up! I don't know if you noticed the drinking contest that she has in the forest with the bandits, and I'm thinking like this is right out of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And then there's a scene. I don't remember if it was that same episode or the one before where. The redhead from Winter Soldier is she's like the daughter of General Kale, which felt like Empire Strikes Back vibes. And then I don't know if it bothers you guys.
when I saw that other ginger chick in the woods, I figured that shit was coming.
Right.
And I only thought there was one black ginger chick in the world with an English accent, but sure enough, they found two of them. Holy smokes.
And they've been branded.
But
I'm sorry, go ahead.
They have modern dialogue, which is just really like when she sneezed in this episode, they said Gesundheit. That's German. Yeah. So now they speak German. And then he falls through the wall and lands and he cries out. He's like, "Oh, my coccyx." I'm like, they know what a coccyx is? And then like every couple of scenes, there's like some modern music going on in the background, and it's just like
that's the thing about this. At least it wasn't a remake of an old song by like a millennial trying to soften it or whatever. At least they played the actual music. I don't even remember what it was, but I remember hearing it, thinking, "Hey, they abandoned the recipe for the last few episodes."
The one that got me was the way not this episode. Boys. Yeah, no, but what was the one before that? It was last week's episode where it was like it was almost like I don't give a damn about my reputation as they're fighting all the
Joan Jett.
People. Yeah, and I'm just laughing. I'm like, what? Yeah. I was like, how does this fit into the fucking? It doesn't fit. Yeah, it's bad.
It's so hard to watch This like episode 5 was pretty bad, but they found a way to transcend that with this newest episode, and I just like I get a general idea of where the plot is kind of going, but every way that they tell it is so shallow and stupid, contrived that like I'm already like disengaged. I'm like daydreaming about Skyrim instead of playing or watching. It's just like, man, it's hard. And what makes it worse is that you think to yourself, like, where did they get these ideas to do these things from? Because none of this is in Willow. You know what I mean? Like when you watch Willow might be a little goofy, but it's done in a serious way. It's not there's no modern parlance. They didn't make any of those mistakes. These people are just, I don't know, they're out to lunch. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's like they
I
can't
actually
come
thought
up
to
with
myself,
their
man,
own vessel for their ideas. It's like the other so they're like, you know what? I can't come up with anything that's gonna bite for mass audiences. So let's make Iceman gay. Let's make Superman gay. Well, they're gonna trip if we make Superman gay. So let's make Superman fly into space forever and have his son be the new Superman, and we'll have him be gay sometimes. Like,
Well, I think this what I personally think is what they do is because they'll buy, again, coming from a guy who writes and has gotten shit bought and never seen the light of day. I swear they've got a vault they just like, okay, we can do what, Willow? Let's crack that vault open. They crack it open and stuff, and they're looking. Okay, sword. This one has a sword in it. This one has magic. All right, let's just cut it and throw them together real quick. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think happens because like you were saying, I think all the old actors that have been brought back are still playing it as if they're in the movie. Very, they've got the English accent, but then then they're talking to the kid, and the kid sounds like he just lives down the street from me right here. They got dropped off in the movie, you know what I mean? And they gave him a sword and shit. Now he's gonna go fight. It's like, pick one or the other. Knight's Tale, like they were able to put like modern music in A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger, but it worked because the whole movie's kind of played that way. You know what I mean? Like, so it fits in there. This one, it doesn't know where it's going. Like,
I think the movie was good despite the modern music. I don't know how well it worked in A Knight's Tale. I liked The Knight's Tale, but I thought the music was like, I didn't feel like it fit. I didn't feel like it fit properly. I wanted some doom 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 doom. I wanted some shit like that with swords and sandals, or swords and horses, right? Swords and
magic.
Yeah, swords and magic. There you go. And pecs. Yeah, and then they got the brownies in there for Fuzzy. How long did the brownies last?
Like 2.5 seconds. And even when he showed up, I was like, oh man.
And she had like a Pantera t-shirt on under her. Like, it was like, what?
Yeah. She had like a regular t-shirt on. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like blown away. I'm like, are they that lazy?
Yeah, it's bad, dude. It's bad.
So I would rather be watching Rings of Power. I really would. Because at least with that show, as dumb as that was, they maintained the focus by keeping in like sense, at least trying to imitate the way that characters in Tolkien's work speak.
Yeah.
Did I freeze?
I agree.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's like a model of the real show, but at least there's some sort of a facsimile. It's just kind of like, we're gonna take Supergirl and Vampire Diaries, and we're gonna dress them up like knights. We're gonna throw in a midget and call it Willow. Like, it's just bad.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking bad.
And I think Christian Slater
Bill
was
is
the original. He was supposed to be Mad Mardigan's cameo
Yeah.
because I think that they had written a part for him and they just kind of wrote around it.
Well, I was dying laughing because I mean, even you guys remember him in Robin Hood, right? He's like playing the same character in Robin Hood, like with the singing fucking fool, and like at one point he's singing that song when he trips Robin Hood and the Kevin Costner, and fucking now all of a sudden he's going to kick ass and Willow, and he busts a rhyme real quick, you know what I mean, before he goes and whoops everyone's ass. I'm like, this is stupid, dude. Like fucking shit.
Hey, Josh, you turned sideways somehow. There you go. Oh, you just turned sideways again. There you go.
He's a world turner.
So, yeah, one of the things I've always liked Christian Slater, but somebody told me this about him years ago, and it's always stuck with me. And what they said was he has made a career making a Jack Nicholson impersonation
Yeah.
look like what he is. And every
Yeah.
time I see him since then, I mean, he does the hair thing. He
He did it in Heathers. It started in Heathers. If you watch all his work before Heathers, he's very much just like a kid. He plays like a normal kid, like Legend of Billie Jean and stuff like that. But then when he does Heathers, they were like, "We want you to be like Jack Nicholson," and so he did that, and then everyone fucking fell in love with that shit. And then from then on, like fucking, he's literally Jack Nicholson.
Captain Jack Nicholson.
Yep. That's why he talks like that, man. He just, I love it, but I love him, dude. Like half my favorite '90s movies have fucking Christian Slater somewhere inside there. So I'm always like, yeah, I love that guy, dude. I don't give a shit. I'll see anything with that guy.
Heathers was so good.
Oh yeah, that's an underrated movie, big time. Like I show that to everyone. I'm like, watch this movie.
Pump Up the Volume.
That's one of my favorites right there.
The
what is it? Cuffs, dude. Cuffs is the one.
Dude, let's do it. Let's do it. Late to the party. I'll put up the thing. We'll do Christian Slater. Have you seen those movies, Josh? Josh has got the Latino community internet today.
What happened?
His kung fu's no good.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
There's no sound, dude.
Josh, you might want to cycle your power or something.
Looks like he's gonna break something.
He looks like an old talkie. He looks like Isaac did when we did the video for Metropolis. You ever seen Metropolis, Fuzzy?
Oh yeah. When you're in film school, that's one of the movies they make you watch and shit. Like I had to watch it in like 3 different classes and shit. Oh yeah. I remember talking to Lego about it because he asked me the same. He's like, "You ever seen it?" I go, "Fuck yeah, dude! I've seen that movie, dude. That's a weird ass movie." I used to have the art of the robot girl.
I miss. They were kind of painful when we were watching them, but the conversation that we got out of them when the movies were done from Lego's movies, they were pretty fucking interesting. I do miss that. I almost want to talk to him about just throwing us a weird ass Lego movie from time to time, just for the sake of keeping that vein alive.
Oh, I'm watching a new one right now that's fucking weird. It's the guy's name. I'll send you guys the text with the name of it, but it's called J.P. Goldman or something like that. And it's a documentary on Peacock, right, about this guy who wrote a book about how he found out his wife was a madam in this hooker ring, and she was hustling him. And so he wrote it as a book, and then he wanted to get these people to make a movie about it. So Seth Rogen and these guys produced this documentary / movie you're watching getting made. And I'm on the 3rd episode, and like it's almost as if they're faking making the movie just to see if this guy's really telling the truth about what happened. And I'm like, oh shit! Like it's like a
It's
movie.
got some Tiger King elements in it.
Yeah, it's just twists and turns, and you're going like, well, what the fuck, dude? Like, is this guy good? Like, I literally was watching it all day today, and then they're like, we got to go see Avatar. I was like, fuck, dude.
Oh, fun times. You got your tech issue straightened out yet, Geek?
Nope,
No.
can't hear it.
You should restart it. He's got a great looking smile there, though.
Yeah. that didn't turn into a good looking smile. That turned into a scary beam. Oh fuck.
We'll let him back in. So how was your Christmas, man?
It was good. Good. The kids were fucking excited. They got their WrestleMania tickets and shit, and I just hung out with family. Nothing crazy. How about you, man?
It was cool. We got I got the tickets for my wife and I to go, and then my three best friends were all going to go and see the Metallica and Pantera reunion.
Nice.
So that should be good. 2 nights. So, and I don't know. I'm excited about that. And then I got a gimbal.
Oh,
so
nice.
I can get the cameras when I do the con videos. I can kind of get that balanced out.
Mm-hmm.
So that should go. That should go well. Although it is, I thought, oh, you just fucking put it on the thing and walk around and everything's gravy. Not some fucking another fucking thing I got to figure out.
Yep.
It's like, man, doing this YouTube thing, what I thought, if I would have known how much money and time and learning and just, got a message from Josh. Let me see. He says it's jacking with the Wi-Fi.
Oh man.
Told him to try again. So, I mean, I've learned how to operate, I want to say like 4 different editing programs, like a basic one, and then I got an expensive one, and the learning curve between the basic one and the expensive one was way too far off. So then I went back and got a this one, and then this one, and then I tried this one. It was still too far off, so I upgraded the hell out of this one, and that's what I'm using right now.
Yeah, dude. Like, there's Adobe's like the king editor right there.
Adobe's hard, dude.
Yeah, it's hard. It is.
Adobe's hard, dude, and it doesn't. It seems like it seems like some Apple shit, and it seems like Apple shit because they make it different and harder just for the sake of fucking with you.
Well, no, there's like Adobe, right? The beauty of Adobe is you could take milliseconds. You know what I'm saying? Like Final Cut and all those other ones like that. You take clips and you can get down to that, but like Adobe will get you in. Like if you ever look at someone who's edited an Adobe movie, right? The little bar across. It's not just one like blocks. Like there's pieces and nitpicks. So they'll cut out this piece. Like, oh shit, the sun came in at this part, so I got to take this out and dim it down to this and match it to that.
What I'm working with, it'll do that, and it's got effects programs. And then once I was going at this solo again, I kind of got a hair up my ass and just upgraded everything. I was just like, oh, you know what? It's by myself, I want everybody to do well. I want everybody to have the second most successful YouTube channel in the world, right behind mine. So it's I went and I upgraded all my stuff and got it all on point, and it's actually been, I've had the most growth that I've had in years, just in the past 2 months, or whatever. But I have been digging into it a little bit, and I think that Lego was onto something when he wanted to split the movies off from the toys and the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I might be confusing the algorithm a little bit. I think that the live stream is still cool going in this direction because we still talk about all kinds of stuff. But I think I might turn Radioactive Curry just into a movie channel and then move all of that stuff over to there, so that way because it's still new enough to where the algorithm I can load up like 5 movies, or we only got like 4 or 5 shows on it.
Yeah.
I could start that as a show. I just load them up into that channel. Then when we do this, I'll stick that piece into there, and then I'll put the Late to the Party piece into there too, and then we'll do this, and I'll keep doing my toys and comics and conventions and stuff, and I think it won't confuse the algorithm so much.
Yeah, dude. I talked with a couple today actually. My friend he's doing an Apple show right now, and a new like animated Apple show. Me and him were shooting the shit today, and I was telling him about a lot of the Radioactive Curry flicks and stuff, and he was like, I told him, I'm like, hey man, you got to see this Indian movie. He goes, let me guess, RRR. And I started laughing my ass off. I go, no, that's not what I was going to tell you, but yeah, that's definitely one of them. And he was like, I guess like everyone in the community, like the Hollywood community, has been talking about it because it is, I guess what it is that movie technically I think has been seen more than any movie ever, because of like we were talking about how many people are in India, and then like now it's fallen over to the West, so it just added on to it and made it like that much more popular. And so I was like, yeah, dude, I go, look, dude, I'm telling you, it's hella good. Like, I was like, I couldn't believe how good it was, and, shit like that. And I was going off about it. But then I kept telling him about the Adhadin, or, whatever.
Anhadhoon?
Yeah, I was like, I'm on that. I go, that's the one. I go, that's the one that's won me over so far. So, and then this last one too, we'll save it for there. But like, it had its moments where I was like, oh shit, like, but it was dope. It was dope. But I saw sandals. I got really scared for a second. But I was like, God damn it, dude. God damn it.
But there weren't any swords.
No, there was not.
It's
and the premise, the moral was dope, and the premise was dope. It was just certain other things where I was like, come on, dude. get to the shit. But I guess
it wasn't a long movie.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It wasn't a long movie. So they're just like they're like fuck. We felt like they could have gone a little bit faster in it, but they're like, damn it, we didn't drag it out for 3 hours. Like,
yeah, exactly. No, exactly. And
maybe they met us in the middle.
Even today, like in Avatar, like I was saying the same thing. I was watching it. I go, "Fuck, we don't need this 30 minutes of the movie, dude. Like we don't." And I guess I fell asleep. Like the kids, they're like, "You were snoring." I was like, "I was." I pulled the Sanchez. God dang it! I was like shaking myself awake. I was like, "Fuck, dude." But yeah, I mean, lately there I haven't seen much of anything. Like even we ended up watching on Christmas, our normal Christmas movies, the Lethal Weapon and all that stuff. But then everyone was like, "What else should we watch?" And I was like, "Fucking Violent Night, dude." We popped on Violent Night, and everyone loved it. They were like, "Oh, this is a classic." I was like, "I'm telling you, dude, they've made Die Hard a Christmas story finally."
That's cool. I'm gonna have to get around to that. Although, you know how it is on January 2nd. It's kind of we put all of it away today. This is the fastest. This is the fastest I have ever cleaned Christmas up.
I admire my youngest is throwing a tantrum because he loves Christmas. He wants to keep it up. Dude. He's like, I don't want to take it down. I'm like,
and I got some friends that put shamrocks on the St. Patrick's tree, and they put Valentine's on the Valentine tree. Like they got that shit going. They put trees on the tree for Arbor Day.
Yeah, I might get that shit out of here, dude. Like I need it out ASAP.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, if you want, you could try to put an avatar on. If it's taking too much, you can bust a. Oh, I can see the private chat.
Let me Let me see if I can throw something up there real quick.
Okay,
But
let me
go on,
see
keep
if
going.
I can
I've been
help
listening
you.
for a while.
All right, cool. Well, at least you're there. It's like we have Sanchez. So Christmas worked out. It worked out well for everyone. I think I want to say my house is like 30% cleaner. So we got get it like tolerably clean enough to add 25% more stuff in it. So I'm still ahead by 5%. Our dishwasher broke, so we bought a dishwasher on Facebook Marketplace, a used one for $50.
No
Because
shit.
we rent. We can call the landlord about that, but I ain't trying to get my rent raised. So fucking $50, one shot, put it in myself. It's the same color as the old one. They don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And I'm not. Yeah, who's trying to get their rent raised over the dishwasher working or not? But
Yep. Nope.
that was a fun piece of install.
No, I don't like doing any kind of fucking work like that. That's for sure. I joke with my wife that I'm Tim the Tool Man, but fucking I literally hate it. Like I dread every second of it. And when I do it, everyone's like, "Oh shit, Dad's fixing something. Get the fuck away from them and shit." And they run away and stuff and go to their grandma's house till I got everything fixed, and then they come home.
It's it's interesting. It's interesting. So I want to. Oh, we lost Geek again. I'm sure he'll come back in a minute. So that puts us into New Year's. I'm going to get a drink, but I'm not gonna leave you here by yourself. I'm gonna get fancy with this camera.
There you go.
Go over to my garage fridge. Enjoy a beverage.
I'm trying to enjoy my new fuzzy smoke here.
You got some new fuzzy smoke?
Yes, my friend just grew this. It's pretty good. And he gave me more of Steve's favorite candies.
What are those?
Back. They're little gummies.
Oh, nice. How many milligrams?
I think they're only 100. Or no, 500.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. 500.
Are they bears?
No, they're like the little ropes. Those little ropes, the little gummy ropes. And so every time I go to Palm Springs, I buy like bags of them. Like just big bags of them. Because they're good for when I got to go to do work where I can't sneak off and smoke.
I spent from, I want to say 1994 until 2014. I would probably smoke. Oh, let's see. Paresh. Talking about RRR. SS Rajamouli. Okay. Ram Turan and Junior NTR coming to Los Angeles at TCL Theater for last time release of RRR.
Oh, snap.
When is that?
Yeah, I want to go to that.
Paresh, when is that?
Tell us, man. I want to go to
that.
that.
Tell us. Dude, I'd love to go see that. Although it's pretty popular, like I don't know if we'd be able to get into it, but is it like going to be at Mann's or something? That might be worth.
Yeah, they'll have like a Q&A usually afterwards and stuff, so that's always good. Oh, what the hell kind of scary face did he put on there? What the hell is that?
The 6th.
The 6th.
Like January 6th? So that's like in what, 4 days? Holy moly, man.
Shit. Yeah, we got to look that up, dude.
When even, that's like Friday? Let's see, calendar. Friday.
Oh, fuck.
Huh. So Hollywood's coming to Hollywood, huh?
Hell yeah.
Dude, you know what? I'll there's no way Josh will be able to get out here for that. But
I got a show that day, I think. But if
What are you doing?
I think minifigures, some Legos and stuff like that. But
Oh, you're at the Whatnot show?
yeah, the Whatnot show.
Dude, I always get the notification both from Instagram, like you, and it seems like your commercials for your Whatnot shows
Yeah.
are very well put together.
Thank you.
What are you using?
Just my TikTok. Just
Okay.
TikTok. I just literally edit like some stuff I use through a thing called VN. It's a free software thing, but what it'll do is it gives me the overlays so it's easy to do overlays on that than it is to do on TikTok, because TikTok does it to a rhythm, so it'll cut to things. So you got to go in there and really really edit the shit out of it. So if I go in this way, I can put it in there, but then sometimes the picture's too big and stuff. Like I'm working on one right now for Royal Rumble at the end of the month. I'm gonna do like a whole week of just like Royal Rumble themed shit, and then I'm doing a giveaway nation thing on I think Thursday with these other cats. So I'm working on another one for that too right now. So that's what I've been doing like the whole time I've been on vacation, is just editing, and then I fucking edit.
They look great. They look great. Here's the problem. And I'm sure you can see when we click like on them and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Are you noticing that people are clicking like on it after your fucking show has been done?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck. Like, I see you post some of that Bronze Age X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I want that book. And if I'm going to give the money to somebody, I want it to be fuzzy. When's the show going to be? Oh, all I have to do is go back in time 8 hours. And I can see that shit.
Yeah. No, I got like that's why I've been trying to get them out 2 days ahead of time. So that way everybody will get a chance to like see it, because a lot of people have told me that like I'm not, I'm no conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but fucking ever since I did that one guest appearance on Thoro, my Whatnot things, a lot of people have been telling me they haven't been getting the notifications or fucking things like that. They're like, I didn't even know you were still on there. And
Dude,
I was
Whatnot's janky though. Whatnot's janky. Like, I'm following you. I think Nando, I don't even know if he sells or not, but I follow his account on there, and the Comic Cave. And they've disappeared from my following. I have to keep fucking adding. It's like, dude, I'm not undoing this. Like, I want to at least, like, if I see the thing pop up, I want to pop in, say hi, tell a joke or some shit.
Yeah.
Watch for as long as possible, and I got to get back to work or whatever the fuck I'm working on. But I don't get very. I'll catch you on your caboose.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm ending, that's what a lot of people do. They'll jump in at the end. They're like, "Oh, how long you been on?" I'm like, "Oh, dude, fucking, they're all for like 2 hours." And they're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, dude.
I jump on and occasionally follow like Fuzzy's shows, but it's hard to watch, not because you're not entertaining Fuzzy, but because like most of the time you're not selling anything.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy. It's nuts. It's not, and then that, as you can tell, like halfway through the show, once I'm not selling anything, I'm not as energetic. I'm just like, all right, well, what's the point in being on? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I shoot the shit with you guys, so But that's why I went to the minifigs, because the minifigs still have a lot of people coming in, and they're buying and stuff like that, and I'm not making millions off of it, but it's something to do. It's bringing in revenue.
How are the Fakos going with the minifigs?
Oh, dude, they love them. I was talking with Nando this weekend, and I was like, I don't understand it. Like, I don't get it. Like, I thought bringing those out, people would get mad at me, but it's like the opposite. If I don't have them, people are like, why don't you have any, of those figures? I'm like, I didn't know you guys liked them that much. I was like, let me go get some more and shit. So I gotta go. I was gonna go this weekend to pick up some, but I couldn't. But I just so happened to get a big box of like the Muppet minifigures. And so I was like, all right, I'll use these, and I have another box of other stuff. So I've been buying them like by the pound, like just pounds of fucking minifigures for like a couple $100, and just going through them, putting them together, trying to figure out what I could find. And then, because the comic side is just dead, like there's nothing going on. I unloaded 10 boxes on Thursday, just because I needed to get rid of them, and I kept like a big chunk of some good stuff, and I still have like 4 or 5 boxes in here of keys that I gotta go through and shit and press. But it's just it's so bad now. You can't, if you're not selling an ASM 300 or something like that, no one wants to tune in. And then when you do sell, they don't want to pay. They don't even want to pay a quarter of what it's worth. They want to, they want it way cheaper and stuff. So,
Are the spinfluencers still doing their thing?
yeah, they are. Did you guys see the one I sent you, the link, or the Thoro show last week?
I didn't. Did you send that?
No, there was another one.
No, it was that one. It was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. The one where her nerdy girl's boyfriend came on.
No.
It
All right.
was awesome, dude.
Fuzzy story time. Boys and girls,
awesome.
grab a teddy bear,
points, bro.
grab your blanket, It's Fuzzy story time.
Oh man, so I love Thoro, dude. I think Thoro's a good guy. Like he's a legit dude. Kind of, he lays it out how it is. And so I tune in, and he had an open forum again, where you could just come in and talk. And this guy was in the chat, was like going off about how we were mean to nerdy girl and stuff like that. And so, chat, people, they just fucking chime in and start going off about, she's this, she's this, she's this. And then finally Thoro's like, hey dude, click on the link and come in the show. So he does, but he blocks out his face, right? So you can't see his face. He does a havok. And he goes, he comes in, I swear to God, is what he sounds like. Yes, I want to talk about how you guys discuss nerdy girl. Okay, it's just not fair. And he's going off about like how and so everyone's talking and talking. Finally, he goes, "Well, I'm her boyfriend," and he starts calling her Danielle and stuff like that. And he's talking about how like he pretty much said that he's her boyfriend, and he's only met Jim Mint, Comic Tom, and all those guys maybe once. That she's just kind of like teaming up with all of them to try to make herself bigger. And what Thoro and everyone kept telling her was like, or telling him to tell her was that, you're hurting yourself by doing that because people don't like them. And so now you're being guilty by association. And when all this shit went down with Acetate Gate, you were caught in the middle of it. Even if that wasn't your intention, you know what I mean, to, fuck over people, you're in the middle with the people that are doing that. So that's why people think that about her. And then and he seemed pretty cool, but it was just his voice that and again, because you couldn't see the face. So it was just like in my head, I'm picturing like Urkel, like fucking talking to us, you know what I mean? And going, well, Laura's just a really good girl. Like, I'm just fucking dying laughing. Like, and I just want to text you guys, like, dude, you got to hear this guy, dude. Like, it's great, dude. Like, it's so funny. But he was saying that when Acetate Gate came, that they had death threats. And they, like a week afterwards, they had to have police escorts inside of a comic book signing that she was doing and stuff. And I'm like, what comic book signing was she doing? Like, what the fuck?
She's signing comic books?
I guess, dude. Like, I don't, like, that's where I think a lot of this stuff, again, when I hear things like that, I go, what? Like, I mean, you guys have been there when we're at Ray's and people want us to sign their comic. I try to talk them out of it. You've seen me jaded, you know what I mean, 100 times where I'm like, are you sure you want me to do this, dude? Like, because I'm going to fuck up your book. As soon as this pen touches it, I have devalued your book. Like, like I'm trying to explain that to people, and they want to do it, and that's fine. But, I'm like, I don't see what she brings to the table. That's the thing I don't get. That's what I don't get. Like, I understand if
is she one of those ones that's got like big tits and holds the comics in front of him and you can see her tits while she's doing it?
She's a big girl, and she got half her hair shaved off the side, and she's the new wave, thing like that. Like and that's what I mean. I'm sure there's dudes out there that find her very attractive. I don't think she's ugly. I've seen way uglier, fucking chicks out there and shit like that. Trust, but she's nothing that I'm gonna like, kick someone out of the way to try to, open the door for her and stuff. Like, that's just that's me. That's my taste. But people seem to love her and stuff like that. So we were trying to. Thor was nicely telling him, like, the reason why is because of all this stuff that you say. Like, it's just it's the whole truth thing. Just tell the truth. If you tell the truth, no one can get mad at you. That's what I've always said 100 times. You know what I mean? Even if you fuck up, if you bluntly tell someone, "Hey, dude, I fucked up. Blah blah blah. This is what happened." They're gonna be mad for a second, but then they're gonna get over it. But when you keep lying, like Jem and all those guys do, and like trying to make up things, and then he started saying that he thinks that he has a feeling that
Tangle web we weave, right?
Right. No, yeah, that's it. And he was saying that he thinks those guys thrive on like controversy and stuff like that. So they were, giving her bad advice on what to do and stuff when this shit happened. And I was like, everyone kept, a couple of my buddies like, go on. I was like, no, dude, like, I'd feel like a dick just sitting there laughing at the guy's voice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, cause I was literally just dying laughing. Cause I couldn't get the picture out of him. I wanted to be like, show your face, dude. So I could have a face to go, you know what I mean? With it. So I just could stop picturing what I'm picturing in my fucking head.
So I want to add a couple of pieces for additional insight into what Fuzzy's talking about here. Liz has made contacts with some folks that were involved in building Whatnot in the beginning, and they stated unequivocally that the Spinfluencer folks, they get paid 10 grand a year, and they're all allowed to keep 100% of the profit of what they sell. They get to keep all of that. There's just all sorts of collusion that's going on, and that's why they continue to thrive on that network. And everybody else kind of like left it.
Well, I mean, even again, I love JP. I love the guy. Good guy. He's, you know what I mean? But why does he need 3 channels? He has Spider-Man Booth, Street Level Hero, and he's got Ninja Funk. Guess where all 3 of those fucking shows are on the list? At the top. Always at the top. Never fails. Always at the top. What do you need 3 channels for? You're selling the same 3 things. But whatever. That's again, that's and then now I was told too that Comic Com, Nerdy Girl, and all of them are required now to go on 3 times a week. So I'm like, and I looked on their sales, and their sales aren't that good though either. Like, because you could always see, that's the other thing, you could see what things sell for. When the show's going on, if you go on the thing and you click sold, you can see how many things they've sold, what they've sold for, who bought them, everything, right? And you'll go through there, and I didn't see anything over $10. Like maybe original piece of art went for like $100 or something like that, but everything else was like $10, $5.
No, this is the time. This ain't the time to sell, man. This is the time. In fact, I'm just right here getting things cleaned up and organized and sorted out so I can start buying shit on the cheap.
Yep.
I think once the tax returns don't really happen, because
people are going to be owing. They're going to be owing taxes.
People are, when they got that 53,000 new IRS agents out there fucking kicking down doors and taking people's fucking rupees. It's going to be tough times, and those are the times where if you're smart, you can get ahead of them. It's a bad time to have any debt or anything like that. So, just try to do your best to keep all your, stop eating out, eat at home, and just keep your shit in order. And then the deals are going to start happening, and it'll be great. And I just think that those FOMO people, I think that they've just been, manipulating collectors so badly. Comics are great if you're doing things like the Comic Cave and you're sincerely reading the comics and you're interested in the new stories, or they're great as a collectible if you're getting things that are genuinely valuable. And if it's valuable because of some kind of like an artificial print, like, oh, we only printed one, so it's valuable. Like, I mean, one piece of shit is still a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, there's got to be, you gotta, there's got. I got these books back. I don't think did I show you guys these? Maybe in text, but not on here, huh? I got these back from Ontario when Claremont was there, and I got Uncanny X-Men 129, first appearance of Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost. 7.5, which is not. Whoa, let's see. There we go. Not the best score in the world, but
It's not the worst.
But it's mine that I bought for this price, and read it and all that stuff. Oh, and this the other one just fell. Hopefully, it didn't crack.
I was about to say, don't break that shit.
And then the other one, it held a 9.4.
Oh, nice.
And this is Gambit. So Gambit held the 9.4, and those are both by Claremont. And see, that's when we go off to these conventions, if you can get a hold of like Sanchez did with Peach, get like you go get something from that up and comer, or just every time I go to the conventions, I always end up buying one of those books from the people that have the puppy dog guys when you're walking down the aisles.
Yeah.
Where it's like, please, it's a cowboy. He's really Satan. Like, he fights gargoyles in space. Like, it's my dream.
I'm more of the elevator pitch guy.
Hello.
Am I back?
You're back.
Oh, my bad.
You said you're more of a pitch guy. Talk about it.
Well, like you pitch me. You got to pitch me your story, and fucking. That's why I love the Comic Cave guys, because we'll be walking through the rows, and they're like, "Have you read this or heard this?" I go, "No." We'll go over there, and I'll sit down with the guy, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, man, this is about." And then they have, everyone's got their pitch, like everyone's got their rehearsed pitch. You know what I mean? But then you can tell the other guys that are real passionate about it. That's again, if you get me to invest in you. You have to pitch me. You have to pitch me a good story, and if you pitch it to me,
that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
If they're gonna, so you're getting stuff from really good pitchmen who are probably shitty artists. Like, think if somebody's gonna buy something from you, they have to be better than, like, I'm going to try to draw a parallel. Maybe I can use my metaphor to make it meet in the middle for you guys. But the managers at my work, they're really hardworking types, right? And they're out there, they're doing things, they're getting it done. But we've also got the people who were out front talking to people. Okay, and the people who are out front talking to people, the hardworking types are like, they don't do anything. They waste their time. All they do is talk.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't talk to people.
Right.
You suck at talking to people. So in order for them to have your respect, they would have to be able to do that plus what you do. So in order for them to be your equal in your eyes, they have to be better than you. And that's when it clicks for them. I was just like, there's fucking 4 things. It's fast, clean, friendly, and fucking safe. All right. And you got the clean, and you got the safe, and you got the fast, but you're not fucking friendly.
Right.
And that's still a 75. Now, the people who, if they can only talk, but they're like 1 in 15. who can be out there and got the gift of the gab, they are fucking stars. They are stars, and you guys are floor cleaning, toilet scrubbing motherfuckers. You're a dime a dozen, and you think because you got to get it. Like so, sadly, if somebody's walking the Comic-Con floor and if they're gonna sell their book to Fuzzy,
You gotta
you're that
pitch
one-
me. I
like that one in
if you,
15.
if you like, don't get me wrong. There was a cup like there. I don't remember how long ago it was. It was like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer. Me and Steve were walking down, and fucking this guy has this picture of that famous picture of the dude whipping the slave, like in the slaves like that dude, and he's fucking whipping it, right? But it's a bunch of guys like that doing that face, and a rock has a whip. And I walked by and I looked at it and I went, "The fuck is that?"
The Rock has a whip.
The Rock has a whip. And so I like looked at it and I went, so I go, "Hold on, fool." And I walk over there and I go, "What's this?" And he was like, "Oh." And he pitches me this story about fucking short story of what he pitched me was the Rocks are the people that ruled this fucking, California. So they were the ones that were like the landowners, and so they had the slaves and, fucking like, and so now the rock people are rising up against the Rocks. And I laughed. I was like, that's funny. And we walked away and I went through the whole con and I kept laughing to myself. That's the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard. And then I ended up going right before I left the con. I walked up to him like, "Let me get a copy, dude. Let me get a copy." And it wasn't good. Like there was nothing good about it, but he pitched it. You know what I mean? He had the art. He got my money. I was like, I wasn't mad about it. Like that's how I can see sometimes when you watch a movie and you're like, how the fuck did this get made? I was like, somewhere in there, someone really felt for this movie and like pitched it perfectly. Like that's.
You know how they get me? Do sketches.
Yeah.
Do sketches. Have some there, and if the art's halfway decent, I'll drop $100. I'll drop $100 on a sketch, and if I see you there doing your art, you'll get me. But if it's just some book that I'm gonna walk by, grab, maybe I'll love and I'll never see you again. That's when I'm feeling like that old thing where it says it's better to have loved and lost. Like, oh, I don't think so. I don't want to read 26 awesome pages and never see it again. So
well, but then again, in light of how things have been going in recent years with regard to everything that we love, isn't it better to love something and to leave it alone than to have it come back and it's utter trash?
that's true.
Yeah. I saw a trailer for Quantum Mania, the same one we've seen, right? Like the one that we all saw, but I saw it in 3D and I went, okay, now I kind of want to see this in 3D. Like I was
You're gonna have to eat something beforehand, though, right?
But like I'm laughing because like Avatar did really good for the theaters. You know what I mean? Like it made money. I'm like, and the 3D gimmick helps. You know what I mean? Because you have to go to the theater to see it in 3D. And I leaned over to my wife and I was like, $20 says every movie now that's going to be coming out is going to be fucking like they're going to have a 3D version of it. You know what I mean? We're going to have that 3D.
Well, they've been having 3D on the Marvel for a minute,
right? But they showed a trailer for Mario in 3D, Ant-Man, and there was another one. I can't remember the other one, so it must not have been that good. But I remember the Mario looked dope. I was like, oh, this looks dope. I was like, I'll pay for 3D on this one. Like this looks dope. But like I was laughing. I go, that's how I think they're gonna try to get us back in there because supposedly they reshot some stuff
that
too
helps.
with Kang. Yeah,
I think that helps. I mean, like I've always said, especially once movies got to a certain price, because I always want to get a soda and a popcorn.
Yeah,
like there's an experience for me, and the thing is that I usually won't go to a theater. Like I love comedies. I'm a fan of stand-up comedians. I follow all of their podcasts. Fucking I'm big. I'm very deep into them and their world and all the things going on with it. But I don't find myself going to see them in movies because I go to see movies for spectacle,
Right.
and comedies aren't necessarily a spectacle. So those tearjerker movies or whatever, I can watch them at home. There's no need to go and see them. So bringing that 3D aspect of it might be a thing. But I'll say this: if I want a place to go out, I want to go to the movies, I want to get out and go and do and see and experience something in the world. I want this whole weekend. I was like, "Fuck, let's go do something." What are you going to do? Like, oh, we can go to the mall. If we go to the mall, there's going to be ice cream there, and you're on your diet again. Fuck. Like, dude, I put on 20 pounds since the summer, man. I gotta.
Dude, I did that just this fucking week right here, dog. Like, I'm wearing pants right now, dude. They got fucking. I feel like I'm in the 1980s glam rock band. It's that tight. Like, it's just fucking like just sucked on to me, dude. Like, I was like, we sat.
You can
down
see your religion.
dude. Yeah, exactly. I literally went to the movies and I looked like a pregnant woman sitting down. I was like, why am I wearing these fucking pants? I mean, the movie's 3 hours long. I was like, oh god, dude, this is killing me. I'm unbuttoning them. Fuck this, dude.
So, but I think more importantly though, more importantly than the spectacle, there's an easier, cheaper way for them to get us into the theater.
Do something good.
Don't make me feel like shit when I'm watching your movie. Call me names and fucking piss on my life. Like,
Yeah, no, I've said it before that the guy told me this years ago, and I always thought he was full of shit. And the more older I get, the more I realize he was right. Right. So he tells me, he goes, because I would always, I'm a fan of Tarantino and fucking Rodriguez. Like I like, that's why I love Kevin Smith. Dialogue. I love dialogue in movies, especially like one of my all-time favorite movies is Beverly Hills Cop 2. Not 1, not 3, 2, because like it's Tony Scott, the guy who did, fucking Last Boy Scout, fucking Top Gun, the original Michael Bay, like the guy that had the vision, like that glossy look and all that stuff, right? And he's like, we're gonna give you Eddie Murphy, and he's like, I wanted you to make anarchy, like just action, and just have Eddie Murphy react to everything. And that has always been my favorite because the dialogue that he's saying like all the time is fucking killing. He kills you because when he's driving that the cement truck and he's chasing after the bank robber, and fucking Eddie Murphy does his badass like jump in. He grabs while the car's going. He slides into the passenger seat and he looks over at the guy. He looks over at Judd and he's like, "Do you see these cars?" Because the car's plowing through fucking cop cars and everything. He's like, "You see these cars in front of you, right?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, how are you driving this thing?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "What, are you fucking using the force or something?" Like, it's just, it's literally, they just let him go loose and have fun. So if you can give me that, dude, like, that's why I think I like such bad movies. Because you give me these little tidbits, I'm a happy camper, dude. I'm with it. Dude, Cocaine Bear.
how about this one? We have come to seek the secret
Yes,
knife of a John T.
He said,
I want the knife. Please. Oh, that was so good.
That's still one of the best scenes ever in a movie.
Oh,
like,
ever.
And dude, I that's the only reason why I love that song that's playing in the background of fucking when she goes into that biker house and just starts whooping everyone's ass, and she gets the shirt shot with water and it's white and you see everything, and she's kicking all these bikers' asses. I'm like, oh, yeah, it is hot.
Great movie. And when's the last time you watched it?
Oh,
like the effects?
Oh, they're cheesy, but I literally watched it a couple months ago.
The worst devil demon, horrible stop animation.
No, the best is when he opens the door. My dear brother Noomsy. And he turns around and says, "Oh, all right, my bad. He shuts the door." Oh my god. And like, but that, again, like that's that's what I always want to see. Like, if you're gonna give me like, so we're talking about that kind of thing, right? Me and this guy, and he tells me, you know, you're the smart guy, a smart filmmaker, gives you a spectacle you never see. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He goes, think about it. He goes, some of the greatest movies, he goes, like, and he used Jaws, right? And I'm like, Jaws was, you know, that was a big, and he goes, exactly. He goes, but, you know, how many times you see the shark? The same thing about, like, those movies where the people are trapped in a room, right? But all the shit's going on outside. And they're describing it to you, and they, you know, like maybe like a guy falls in dead, and so they're the
Use your
mist.
imagination.
Yes, exactly. Like the mist, you know what I mean? Like the whole idea, like what the fuck, like that whole movie is them in that supermarket. It's they don't leave until, you know, that's the only time we see it is when they're outside at the beginning and the end. So the whole movie is there, but everything else, like, is the people coming, like, oh my God, did you see what was out there? And they're describing it. It makes this big world, and you don't have to spend all the monies on it, you know? And I was always going like, huh, like, well, that, but you can't, like, so to do that now, you can't do that. Like, we want to see the spectacle. We know, dude, the movie I just watched, I saw a huge spectacle. I was like, oh my God, there's fucking blue people fighting, you know, and it looked seamlessly. Like, it was seamless. Like, that was why I was like, okay, like, he made it look good and stuff like that. But, you know, same thing with a lot of those Marvel
You know why they're
movies.
blue?
Because it's easy. It's easy to fucking trend to see the 3D. It's easy to see the
Yeah.
yeah. I knew that trick. That's why when I saw my youngest loves Jaws. That's like his fucking, like, one of his go-to movies, right? He loved that and Killer Clowns. He loves those movies. And he's fucking like, he goes, Dad, I go, he says something about like Jaws is in 3D, and I took him like a couple months ago, like when they had it in 3D, and that movie is blue as shit, dude, like blue as hell. And so, like, you're sitting there, and it's that scene where the kid after the kid got eaten, and they're in the meeting. He's about to scratch his nails on the wall, and there's that one annoying lady that, yeah, I know everyone notices her, where she's like, I don't like it, like, you know, she's just very, like, you know, annoying and shit. It looked like she was sitting on my lap. Like, me and my son were like, what the fuck? Like, it was so, like, in my face and shit. And so, like, but then, like, the parts you
Was
wanted
this Jaws 3?
no, number one, the very first one.
So the one they didn't mean to make in 3D.
Right, but the way, because in the 70s they would do, you know, the foreground, so you have your main character here and everything else behind it was far away, blurred out. So that in 3D made it look like it was like right here in your face, dude. So you're just like, oh shit, like, so every time they would cut to a person, it was like on your lap. But then when it got to the ocean where everything's blue, like, it kind of all just blended in. Like when Jaws came out, which is what you want to see, like, come out at you and stuff. It didn't. It didn't work and stuff.
Yeah, just a woman at a meeting.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, and I turned to my kid, I go, so this is what, like, normal movies would be like in 3D, like, you know, like a romantic comedy, like you see them kiss, like, oh God, dude, look at that, dude. Like, you know, like, but so what I was trying to say was that now we need that spectacle. You know what I mean? Like you were saying, we can go. They make better TV shows than any drama movie has ever put out. You know what I mean? I just watched Jack Ryan, fucking dope. Like that's a legit, like, spy, you know, fight, who did
plus
what.
the amount of, like, what they can do, like with that last season of Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Like what they can put together. Oh, it's amazing. No, for sure. For sure.
But
it's weird. It's weird how stuff can be so hit and miss, because we just got done watching Reacher before Christmas.
mm-hmm.
And
did you like it?
That show was dope. That was so good.
I can't wait.
I was shocked because the you know the the creative team behind Reacher, you know, ultimately is the same creative team behind Rings of Power. It's like, how do you know this one?
Is it?
Totally yeah. It's Amazon.
But what I think,
but I mean, is that the same writers and?
Well, but the thing is like, okay, so the guys at the top at Amazon, they're the ones that have to green light this. So they greenlit Reacher, which was dynamite, and they greenlit Rings of Power, which was trash. And you have to ask the question, like, who are these people that can't tell the difference?
But see, this is what I say. They were focused on Rings of Power. Like, they were betting on that, right? They weren't paying attention to Reacher, I'll bet you. The guys were just like, go, fucking make your shit. and then look how awesome it was.
So-
You know,
Yeah, they
but
put
then-
Reacher-like guys on Reacher. Like, hey, where's the guy with the beard and who likes football? He's gonna go fucking do Reacher.
But here's the thing. So if they weren't paying attention, and that's what resulted in success, now that it's getting a second season and there
I
are
know.
going to be more eyes on the show, is it going to be any good?
they're filming 2 seasons right now because he was saying he can't stay that big for too long because he's fucking monstrous, dude. Like,
Yeah,
you're like, that's
yeah.
Jack Reacher. If that guy walked in the room, I would shit myself. I'd say, oh God, here we go. Here we go. This is where I die.
You know, I was thinking to myself, if the MCU ever got its act cleaned up and it decided to, you know, give these woke actors the boot, they could cast that dude as Captain America. Holy shit!
That dude's
Oh,
on
yeah.
Titans.
Yeah, he's on the Titans
He's
show.
Hawk. He's
Oh,
but I
Hawk
don't
from
like-
Hawk and Dove.
But I don't like him in Titans. I don't like I didn't like it. That's why I was worried when I watched Reacher because I was like,
He
oh,
was
man,
good.
fucking...
Did you watch his whole arc?
Yeah, no, I watched it and I dug it. But he was
flawed. He was good, dude.
But he was too much of a dick. Like, remember, like, you don't go the full retard. He went the full dick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, there's that one part. I forget what scene it was. It was season 2, I think, because he was dope in season 1, and then like season 2, right? Because it's his Dove is like the love interest of one of the other dudes, and he gets like fucked up. He has like an alcohol problem, so he's all fucked up. And he did some dick move, and I was just like, "Oh, fuck this guy, dude! I hope he dies." Like, I was like, you know, like, well, you're not supposed to.
But that's good, right? Isn't that good? Like if an actor gets you to hate them,
yeah, but him playing Reacher, like from that to Reacher, I was just like, oh, like, because most people when they act, they're character actors. You're playing that character in everything you do. So if that was my first taste of what Reacher was gonna be like, I was like, fuck this, dude. But when I saw Reacher, I was like, holy shit, this is one of my new favorite guys right now, dude. I love this motherfucker, dude. Like, he's badass.
Well, look, if the standard for good acting is an actor's ability to make you hate them, then the whole cast of Willow is doing great.
well, I mean, but that's complicated though, right? Because they're trying to make us like them while making you hate them.
Well, that's why I love wrestling, man. Like I always say, dude, you could be a heel, you know, like there's like my kids always like love like Roman Reigns, right? Like Roman Reigns, The Rock's nephew. They've been trying to make him a good guy for years, like, you know, and he just didn't fit the mold. Like, you know, they were shoving it down our throats. And right when they gave up on him and just was like, you know what, dude, just be a fucking heel. He's one of the best bad guys we've had in years. In years, dude. Like, and I'm like, and I'm
Didn't
now
he
a
get
big
sick
fan.
or some shit?
He what?
Didn't he have cancer or some shit?
Yeah, he had cancer and stuff, and that was why he had to give up the belt for a while there and during COVID. So they didn't want that, you know, he couldn't risk getting out, but he fought it and won, you know, he's got the longest reigning, you know, title right now and shit like that. So he's selling it, you know, the whole family's selling it. The Rock's daughter just got in and she's fighting now in the women's division. So, like, you know, it's they're taking over there, but they can sell the bad guy. Like, they're good as the bad guy. Like, they can do it. Like, they have the look, the attitude. Like, you just don't care. Like, that's why The Rock got popular, because he was a bad guy. When he was trying to be a good guy, no one liked him. And then fucking when he became the bad guy, everyone loved him. Like, they're like, oh my God, this guy's such a dick. Like, you just love him and stuff.
I saw this, I guess it was a TikTok or one of those reels today, and it made me think of you. And it's got a guy with a green glove on, and it says, and they say wrestling's fake. And a guy's got him from behind, and he's like, and he puts his green glove up, and the guy holding him from behind's like freaked out, like the glove's gonna get him. And then he like works his way free and throws him on the ropes and comes back to him, and then gets the glove and touches the guy on the neck. And the guy like starts like if he got bit by a snake or something. It's just
it's Santino. He's got you with the fucking snake bite, dude, and they get you the mandible claws, dude. I seen one
where the guy comes and he fucking hits him in the nuts. Like he hits him with the dick, and the guy goes down. And when he goes to grab him like that. But then all of a sudden, the guy who's getting his nuts grabbed goes oh like this, and the guy goes like the dick is squeezing his fucking hand, and he can't take it. And then he goes like this, and he flings him across the room. I was like, that would be my fucking finisher right there, dude. Every time someone grabbed my dick, fucking my dick would get tackled and shit. It's a male soap opera, dude. It's awesome. It's awesome. You cannot get it anywhere else. And my guys on there, they really do their shit. Well, most of it, but yeah.
So, no, go ahead. Finish
But like the Marvel, if they give me the quantum, because that whole movie is gonna be CG when they're in the quantum world. So I'm like, as long as they give me, now that they've seen Avatar, can they bring it up to that level? Like nope. that's always the standard. After you see that Avatar, you go, fuck, dude. All the other 3D sucks. Like this is dope.
Yeah, they're not. They're gonna fuck it up. I mean, at this point, my entire expectation for everything coming out of the MCU is going to be like the worst case scenario, because all we're seeing coming out right now is just the worst of the worst. It's the things you don't expect, like Peripheral, that turn out to be fucking dynamite. The things
awesome.
That you want to be dynamite are terrible. They're terrible.
Don't say that, because a cocaine bear is gonna save the fucking universe, dude. That's the one that's gonna say it's gonna be so big that Marvel's gonna be like, we need to add this into our fucking universe.
But that's the thing. That's the thing, is that no one expects Cocaine Bear to hit, and that's why it's gonna hit. You know what I mean? That's think why you can expect good things.
It's a bummer because I want to say coming out of Endgame, and then there was a couple duds and some lackluster series, but it was like, I'm thinking, you know what? I watch things almost all the way through, and I think, you know what? It's Marvel. They're gonna come through in the end. It's gonna be good. And now I think they've turned this corner to where my expectations are, this has gone full blood Star Wars sequels. It's going to be bad, and now they have to prove that they're probably going to be good to me.
Yep.
I'm just well, see,
you're flossing. Oh.
The way that you feel about the MCU, that's how I ended up. That's how I ended up with Star Wars after Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Because with Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, they were terrible films, but I kept expecting George to fix it. I kept expecting the next movie to start an arc upward where it would return to the glory that we had with the originals. And after the closing scenes of Revenge of the Sith, I realized at that point that Star Wars had to prove itself to me, and I could no longer take it for granted.
And you know what's funny? I was thinking of you today, because when I was talking to my buddy, we were talking about Andor, and I was bringing up how me and Nate were talking about how it's not Star Wars if you don't hear the hum. You know, like we were first couple episodes, I was like, fuck this show, dude. Like, I don't like this. You know, I'm not in on it. But then as it started building,
I can't hear you, honey. What?
All three of us were going quicker and quicker. You know, like, oh god, this is great. And then ended up being, for me,
no,
if not one of the best shows of the year, one of the best all-time Star Wars things.
Go out.
You know what I mean? It had nothing to do with fucking lightsabers. It had nothing to do. It was just a great story in that fucking world.
Well, and that's the weird thing, is because when it came to Rogue One, I thought Cassian Andor was one of the most boring characters in that film. I had no interest at all in understanding his background, his motivations. I just didn't care. Yeah. And then they said they're going to do a whole show about him. I'm like, oh my god, they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. And, you know, to be fair, the first 2 or 3 episodes were kind of it's a slow build, and I was just like, I don't.
That's why they gave you 3 up front. Usually, like if they can give you 1, and they know you're going to come back for the second one, they're only going to give you 1. A lot of these they'll give you 2. That one they gave you 3. They're like, this we're gonna have to keep them. We're gonna have to keep them in here for a little while, or they're gonna bail on us. And it worked. They kept us.
Every episode of that show got better than the one before, and by the end, you're just like, holy shit, this is good stuff. And honestly, it's the most I've enjoyed any property that was under the Star Wars banner since the originals. Everything else has been so like, I mean, at best flaccid, and at worst just utter trash. I mean, we're living in some dark times, man.
Well, it's yeah. I think the days of like there was a day where you could just slap a title on something and fucking people went. You know what I mean? I'm guilty of it myself, dude. Like like how many times have I mean. I've gone and seen shit that supposedly because
they've been doing that with Marvel since Endgame.
Yeah, like everything has like a lot of the people have just been slapping shit on. Just the name, the title will sell it. Who cares what it's about? And that's what they've been doing with comics. Like it's a Spider-Man book. It's a first appearance of a character that no one's going to care about in 3 weeks, but it's a first appearance, so it'll help it sell.
Or they'll just use that as a vessel to pack their agenda into.
Mm-hmm. But they get you with the title on the cover. That's how they get you. And it's about trying to fucking
And the sad thing is they did that in the beginning to try to get a couple extra people on board, and it does work for a while, but then that becomes everybody who you're attracting, and the people who are looking for substance start watching Indian movies instead. and then when your tricks are done, when you're shiny fucking, like Shaka Zulu, when they figured out that they weren't being rejuvenated, they were just painting their hair and showing them something shiny. They once the jig's up, you lost the people who kept you going. That's why I always talk to Liz about it. It's just like, there's a way. There's a way. I'm not saying I'm the filmmaker of all times or any times, but there's a recipe for strong women and minorities and advancement and all of these things to be done in a really in a positive way. You tell a good story. Like, who the fuck knew what Guardians of the Galaxy was?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but they put something together up under the Marvel banner out there. But I bet you if it was like, if Star-Lord, came out when he did his dance in the beginning and he was like extra like fabulous, or talking to Lisp or something like that, and like it wouldn't have worked.
That's that. But again, like that's I'm trying to finish The Walking Dead, right? Like I'm on I think I got like 6 episodes left. And me and the kid during COVID started watching them together. My oldest, who hates like horror movies, but he loves the show. Like, so we're at the end, and I started watching like making of and things like that, and they were talking to.
I watched every one. I used to watch Talking Dead,
yeah,
all the way up until they wanted to make you join AMC Plus to fucking watch it.
Yeah, no.
So up until the last season,
Well,
and I'm not.
That's what I'm watching right now is the last season, and like.
How are you watching it?
On my little app, my little pirated app.
Oh, okay.
And so like we're watching it, and they were talking about how there was another show that AMC was doing, and they were doing that, and then they gave them money to do Walking Dead. And when they went out to do The Walking Dead, it was like literally guerrilla filmmaking. No one cared. Like no AMC directors or producers were there or anything like that. And they just made 6 episodes. That was it. They were like, they thought it was going to be something they could put on for Halloween, kind of thing. And that would be it. And then it took off. because nobody was messing with it. You know what I mean? Like it's a balance, right? Like so. Of course, you got to have people there. Like no one has, no matter how good one person's vision is, you need someone talking to you, telling you like, "Hey, you know what, dude?
Nobody's
This
above an ass whooping.
right." Like you need that, but at the same token, you don't need people who are just doing things to do things so they can look like we needed to hit these things. It's like no, you don't. Like some stories need to hit that, and some stories do not need to hit that. Like if I'm telling a story about a guy who grew up on the streets, and he's trying to fucking find his way. I don't need to have fucking, all these morals. It's going to have a moral. There's one moral we're trying to tell. It doesn't need 15 morals slapped in there, like it just tell his story, like tell the story. It'll naturally come, dude. Like I learned a lot of lessons through film before people were woke. You know what I mean? I sought out films like that where they were a little different and stuff like that. And I would watch them and I go, okay, this was a good story. It wasn't beating over my head. I got everything that they were trying to tell me. And you just sit back and enjoy it. Like there's a time and a place for everything. Like every story needs to be told. I believe that, but don't give me James Bond, but because someone on your staff fucking it thinks there needs to be an agenda shoved in there, now he can't fucking seduce women. It's like that's who he is. That's why we love him. We want to be James Bond because we wish we can go kick everyone's ass and fucking bang the girl and nothing happens to us. We get to fix our collar and walk the fuck away.
Not only bang the girl, you get the good girl in the end, you get the bad girl in the beginning.
Exactly. Dude. Like,
yeah, James Bond has got a 2-girl minimum every movie.
And they always have awesome names, you know what I mean? Like fucking On the Top and fucking what was Denise Richards' name? Christmas like that.
Jones.
Yes.
Christmas Jones. It was so on the nose. And then, I tell you what, one of my fondest memories of being in a movie theater is watching that movie, and it's not one of my favorite Bond movies, but at the end, when he's rolling in the hay with Denise Richards, and he looks at her and he says, "I thought Christmas only comes once a year." And the whole theater, all the guys are like, "Oh!"
That's one of the best lines ever.
Even Austin Powers, when he was making fun of James Bond, and he had a lot of vagina.
But that's what I mean. Like, there's, I don't want that in that movie. Tell me a movie, show me a movie like that tells that story, dude. Like, I don't mind hearing that story. Like, fucking, I remember Boys Don't Cry with Hilary Swank. When they came out back in the day, like it was, controversial. And I was like, dude, this is just a true story about what happened to this person. Like, yeah, this story needed to be told. Tell the story. Fucking let us learn about that. But they didn't. They told us that story with those, what was going on. You didn't do that in my Superman movie. That's okay. Like, you don't need that in the Superman needs to fight fucking aliens. That's what he needs to do. Kick some alien ass and shit. But, not.
Yeah, well, we're not going to be getting that anytime soon. I think the departure of Cavill from DC means that whatever we're going to get for Superman in the future is going to be horse shit.
Yeah. No, I
guys hear? They already cast Jared Leto.
What?
That's not funny. I saw those jokes you guys were sending. Those jokes were making me cry, dude. I was getting mad. I was like, these better be fake, dude. Like, I was going to write that in the text. Like, fuck you guys. Don't send me that shit, dude. Like, I almost broke my phone twice. I was like, fucking no. I don't like that shit. Nah. Like,
you have to count your lucky stars though, Fuzzy, that just about every guy that they've ever cast for Superman has been like a stand-up dude, even in real life.
Yes.
Man, I wish that was the case for somebody like Captain America. In real life, I don't want to hear Chris Evans open his damn mouth. But, like, on the screen, he's gold,
Oh, yeah. Crazy. No, it's funny when you meet the people. Like, again, I've met a lot of people, and you just go, fuck, I really wish I wouldn't have met you.
Well, I mean, think about it. Just think back when you were in high school. You ever meet anybody who was in drama or the people who were like actors in high school?
Yeah, well,
Like, or in college or anywhere, anytime in your life?
yeah.
They're always fucking weirdos.
Almost always. Every once in a while, you meet a dude or a lady who's like fairly normal and just enjoys acting. But yeah, you're right. Most of the time, those people were psychopaths.
Well, it's like but even like I remember meeting Bridget Nielsen. All right, so this I'll tell you this much. First person I ever met was like truly met and like talked to was Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Philippe. And I was on an audition with my buddy to go on Saved by the Bell, the new class. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Fuzzy was going to be on the bootleg version of fucking Saved by the Bell. And I was like, I think I was 16. Like I just gotten my license and shit. So we drove out to the audition, and we go out there and we got lost in Beverly Hills, right? And I'm like, fuck, dude, like I got to find this place because we're, and Fuzzy at the time had hair spiked up to about here. It was neon green. I had a psychiatric ward t-shirt with my psych number, fucking said psychiatric ward on the back, all white, and my blue jeans and shit. I was like, I'm going to stand out. I want to make sure they remember me when I walk in there. So we get lost, and I find this fucking 7-Eleven. I pull into the 7-Eleven, and fucking my buddy who's with me, his name is, I won't give his full name, but we call him Fruity. Now he's not gay, but he's on the spectrum. He's on the spectrum.
So like Fuzzy and Fruity are driving around Hollywood with mohawks.
Yes. No, he's we call him Fruity because he's the most handsome fucking dude. Like he takes a while to get dressed. Like he gets all out. Like, you know what I mean? Like so I'm always like, I go, dude, just put a shirt on. Let's go. And he won't. He'll be like, nah, dude, give me an hour. I'm like, give you a fucking hour, dude. What are you doing in there? Like, what the So that's why we call him that. So we go in there, right? And again, he's on the spectrum. He's not, but he's right there. So we go in, and I ask the guy where to get in. We're like, all right, let's get a Slurpee, and then we'll go. So we get in our Slurpee, and in pulls up this fucking badass Jeep Cherokee, right? Nice rims, like, not overdone, but just nice. And we both were like, damn, that's a nice ass Jeep Cherokee. And out of the driver's side comes Ryan Philippe. And my boy next to me goes, oh my God, it's Ryan Philippe. And I just looked at him. I go, you just lived up to your fucking name, dude. Look at that shit. And we're both laughing. The passenger side door opens up. Reese Witherspoon comes up. I go, oh my God, that's Reese Witherspoon. And he starts busting up laughing. And I'm like,
hey, is her chin as big in real life as it is on that screen?
oh yeah. But
how about her forehead? She looks like fucking Frankenberry.
Don't talk about my future ex-wife.
Dude, she looks like she looks like the Pinky in the Brain, dude.
She is
like
gorgeous.
She looks like Mac Tonight.
No. Don't talk about her that way. I love that woman. Okay, so I'm like, she gets out, and I'm looking at her, and my boyfriend runs up to Ryan Philippe, and he's just like, oh my God, how's it going, man? I love your stuff, blah, blah, blah. And Cruel Intentions hadn't come out yet. And it was just about to come out. And so he was like, well, I can't wait to see it. And Brian was being told, you could totally tell they were drinking the night before. Like they had the sunglasses on and shit. And he's like, thanks, man. Like, just trying to be real nice and shit. And so we were going up to get our Slurpee. And I was like, and at that moment she comes, and I'm like a stalker, like following Reese around like just watching her go around, and finally she comes up
with your mohawk.
You dude, like again, I'm wearing psychiatric ward t-shirt and everything, and I'm just staring at her. I'm like, I've loved you since Jack the Bear. She started laughing, dude. Like she's laughing her ass off. She's like, oh my God, like you knew I was in that. I go, I love Jack the Bear. Like green hair, like you said, just looking like that. So we're about to pay, and Ryan Philippe goes, he's like, I got it, I'll buy you guys, fucking your Slurpee. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, dude, no problem, man. He buys it for us. I'm like, thanks. So we go out, and this is before cell phone cameras and shit like that, you know what I mean? So we're like, no one's gonna believe this shit, dude. Like, no way. So we go and we get we had like a manila folder with where the address was and everything. We ripped it in half, and we go there, dude, can we get your autograph? And then she's like, so awesome. And she grabs a pen and she, signs it like peace, love, and Reese and shit like that. And so we're like, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. So we go back. We can't find thing. We don't get the audition because we can't find it. So we just go home, right? So we go home. I tell everyone about it. They're like, fuck you, dude. Like, no way, dude. Swear to God. I'm like, I swear to God, dude. We saw him, blah, blah, blah. Like a month or two later, we're all at my boy's house sitting there chilling, fucking smoking a blunt, and then all of a sudden they're doing an interview with Reese Witherspoon, fucking Ryan Philippe, and everyone from Cruel Intentions. And they were like, so how's it been? Has fame, gotten crazy? She goes, the other day I was at the 7-Eleven and this green-haired guy said he remembered me from the. So, oh, shit, that's me. That's fucking me. I was so excited. So that was my first meeting of a celebrity. Because every movie I'd ever done, I met Jennifer Aniston on Leprechaun when I was fucking young, but she wasn't Jennifer Aniston. You know what I mean? She was just an actress and shit like that. It wasn't the guy in the guy in the movie that plays he's in the overalls. And he's the special needs guy. He was from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He was the biggest star on fucking, Leprechaun and Warwick. I got to meet Willow. And fucking, I was like, so that was dope and shit. But
before he was woke?
Yeah. Before he ruined his own thing. But so I never really had met somebody that was that and I'd met Arnold once at when that movie Twins with Danny DeVito.
Oh, geez.
And the scene where he's in there and he's reading the Playboy and the Vons, that's the Vons down here by Raging Waters. I have it on good authority, dude, that Danny DeVito lives in here in San Dimas. I'm not even bullshitting you because if you look at everything he's ever done, they filmed a piece of it out here. So I'm like, he's got to live around here. Where he's I don't want to go out too far. Fucking find something, local and shit. And supposedly fucking Tarantino has something out here. But I've never seen it. People have said they've seen the pussy wagon driving around here. So.
That's cool.
So, I thought it might be cool to get everybody's favorite movie from 2022.
Oh.
What they saw this year that came out this last year that was their favorite film. And I'm gonna go first because for me it's easy. It's the only film that I've bothered to see more than one time.
Oh, RRR.
Oh man, that movie. Ironically, I convinced my brother to watch it, and he said that it sucked ass. He said he couldn't stand the singing, and he couldn't stand all of the drama and everything like that. And he even tried to fast forward to the action scenes, and he said he was bored out of his mind. I hung up on him in that conversation. But yeah, he didn't like it. But I got to tell you, I went into it nervous. Being that's my first, genuine Indian film that I ever took the time to watch, and man, what a movie! And like I said, the only one that I've seen multiple times. I've watched a lot of movies, new films this year, and almost all of it stuff that I regret. But RRR, I can't recommend that movie more highly. What a fantastic piece of cinema.
I agree. That was a good one. Dude, I was trying to think of that the other day. When we were last week, I was trying to think of something to bring up too about that, but I'm not even trying to pump radioactive curry, but that thing showed me some fucking movies where I was like, damn, that's pretty dope. That's Violent Night was a surprise. But it was just because it was funner than I thought it was gonna be. It wasn't I knew it was gonna be but it was a lot of fun.
You thought it was gonna be an updated Santa sleigh?
Yeah, just more money in it. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like Santa's piss. But I was like, this is a legit Christmas fucking movie. I've seen it 3 times already, and then but same thing with what I'm gonna say it wrong. Ad Hadin.
An Hadhoon.
Ad Hadhoon. That one to me, Like I like RRR. That was the one that set the standard. You know what I'm saying? That has set the standard, and we still have not met one that gets right there. You know what I'm saying? But this was on another level, like of just like because we wasn't what we were. I wasn't expecting it, and I'm a sucker for like whodunit films and like twists, good twists and turns, not M Night.
Dude, you're Glass Onion. You're Glass Onion, motherfucker. You. Yeah, guys, watch this Glass Onion. It's fucking worst. They brought the twins out. That's the biggest fucking crutch ever. Like, they rewrote half the movie. You can't just undo what you did. You're watching the whole thing with a certain lens. And then they unwrote the movie. That shit, dude. It was
I haven't watched it yet. So.
You fucking bastard! You didn't even watch it.
I didn't watch it yet because everyone kept telling me how bad it was. I was like, man, I don't want to.
No, you have to watch it now. Fuck you. You have to watch it just
what
for
is this? What are you
the Glass Onion, the Knives Out sequel.
Oh no, I haven't even seen Knives Out. I mean,
I love Knives Out. I love Knives Out.
I loathe Ryan Johnson with a special loathing that I reserve only for him and Hitler and the Devil. So,
And M. Night Shyamalan.
I didn't even realize it was Ryan Johnson until I was pissed off, and I fucking and I was like, I knew. Fuck.
No, I love that shit. Like, if you give me a good, like, that's why I like.
No.
Cop
You know what?
and
Watch
shit.
it, dude. Watch it.
I
Watch
will.
it, bro.
I will.
You'll totally love it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You'll love it.
But if I had to choose like a movie, I would say that as a surprise was Ad Hadin, and I know I'm fucking I won't even when I give it to people to watch. I go here. I'm gonna send you the picture of the fucking. this is everyone's been getting texts with just the fucking the poster of it and going like, look, dude, watch this, dude. And not one person has told me like, oh, that sucked. Like everyone kept going like, oh, this is dope. Like, dude, is there other ones like this? I'm like, no, there is not. I was like, RRR. That's the only other one I've seen that's like can hold up to it. Like, and it's a way different.
You
movie.
didn't even watch Bahubali Part 2.
No, I didn't watch Part 2. I wouldn't put myself through it. I wouldn't do it. I kept trying. Like, I got up to.
Yeah, but like you know what? Without spoiling it for Josh, Tom Bod.
Oh yeah, dude. Look, dude. I told him, I saw sandals. I got upset. These motherfuckers tricked me again. And then, but then it goes in this weird like way, and he went, okay, I'm in. Like, all right, I'm down. But it's not like your typical horror movie. But it's worth watching, dude. You'll dig it. Like, when I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Dude.
It was a horror movie where it wasn't. Like, they didn't take a piece of this and a piece of that and recycle all the fucking horror movies for you.
Yeah.
It was a fresh take, and it was still a horror movie. Like, I think that's what we're getting from these movies. Just like fresh takes. Just like original ideas, fresh takes. Not recycled bullshit and...
Well, everyone was, I kept saying when we watched the one I liked a lot, I was like, I'm going to remake this. Like, I'm going to figure out how to make this into an American movie. My buddy today, we were joking. He goes, have you seen, he goes, let's list all the American versions of movies. He's like,
they're bad.
Yeah, that's what he said. And I went, you know what? You're right, fool. I was like, I think I might fuck that up. All right, let's just re-release it here in the States.
Let the Right One In? You watched Let the Right One In?
Nah,
but the other version?
Yeah.
The foreign version was good.
Yeah, I've seen that one, but then I didn't see the remake. And then like same thing with District B13 is one of my favorite like action like fucking movies. That's a movie that brought parkour into the fucking mainstream. And Paul Walker did a version of it called Brick Mansions, and it was fucking horrible. and he even had the same actor to be in the movie, and they still couldn't do it. I was like, oh fuck. So, yeah, I don't want to be part of the problem.
Unless you just get the same actors and you have them do it in English.
Just
do the
dub
same
the fucking thing. Just dub it.
There you go. Just dub it.
Just dub it. Put it out. like it, and then we brought it up about The Raid. Like The Raid is legit the best action movie ever made, ever. And they they kept saying Michael Bay was going to fucking remake it into an American version, and I
Oh,
love Michael Bay. You guys know this, and I'm like, even I said, don't do it, please don't do it, like please don't do it. Just release it again. Just put it out again and fucking dub it in English. Just do it. Just fucking do it.
so we called this. We got 10 minutes left, and I called this episode of Talking Shit resolutions. So I am gonna 90% sometime this week. I'm gonna split the movies off of the main collection connection show, and I'm gonna make Radioactive Curry into a channel, just because there's not a lot of episodes in it, and I think that the algorithm will treat it pretty well if I'm just loading a video in there per week or whatever. And then I'll probably put Late to the Party in Curry, just because it's a movie thing. And then the collection connection, we'll still have this piece here because it's, in they're conjoined or whatever. But I think I'm going to keep collection connection for like toys and comics and whatnot. So that way, I've been watching some algorithm stuff, so that way the algorithm can feed what's going on. Then you never know. I might get 1 million subs just by re-releasing the RRR video, the same fucking video with the same thumbnail on another channel.
Hey, dude, they love that movie, man. That, like I said, that would even my dude was talking about it, saying like, look, man, he goes in the industry, everyone's talking about it, and they were trying to figure out the numbers that they think it's the most watched movie ever to be released because of just this, the size of India, and it's now crossed over into the West, and it's gotten big, like it's big out here, like huge. So I'm laughing. I'm like, dude, that's awesome, man.
What's crazy is that they just want their movies to be seen. How many of these movies have we just been able to go onto YouTube and watch?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
dude, my fucking algorithm now is giving me all kinds of movies that like we used to watch when we were fucking like at home in the early 90s. Like you're at home and you got to turn on HBO and it's like the one movie that would play like every other hour. So like I watched John Candy's Delirious, where he's the soap opera writer and he fucking gets hit in the head and he goes into the fucking soap opera world. I used to love that movie. I watched it. It's garbage, dude. It's fucking hardcore garbage. And then after that, they show me another fucking movie. I was like, oh, License to Drive. I used to like this movie. Let's watch this. And I'm like,
You see Corey Feldman's Michael Jackson impersonation?
oh my, I love it. I fucking love it, dude. I'm really tempted to do a retrospective of the two Corys and, and like break it down their fucking movies like piece by piece. Because in License to Drive, I'm dying, dude. He's got this drunk dude that steals the car that he's supposed to take home or whatever. And the cops had just patted the guy down, right? The cops pat him down and he's got to walk the fucking drunk line and he ends up at the fucking car. He gets into the car as he's driving away. Out of his pocket, he pulls out like a mini bar. I swear to God, dude, like he's like Mary Poppins. He pulls out a little bottle of liquor. He has a lime and he's cutting it on there while he's driving down the road. It's like these cops suck, dude. Like they didn't feel a knife and fucking like all this shit in his pocket, dude.
The Corys. And it's crazy because the more normal of the two is the one that died.
Yeah,
Or at least the one we thought.
he was. I got to live with them for a week, dude. For 1 week, I lived with them when they were in their downfall, and they were doing back-to-back movies. He was doing National Lampoon's Last Resort 2 and Faster Getaway. So it's Fast Getaway Part 2. And I remember
explain the setup to that whole thing.
So a family friend is the producer of Leprechaun, Rambo, and he did these like low budget movies and stuff. He was an executive producer. So pretty much what he did was make sure the monies was spent right, and fucking wrangle everyone up. He's like the ringleader in the fucking whole movie set. And so he calls me and he goes, he knew I was a fan of like Lost Boys and shit. And he's like, hey, you want to come hang out a couple days? I'm like, all right. And so I went and fucking, they had like, it was like a motel, and the floors, there was 3 floors. So all 3 of the floors were filled with like crew members and actors and stuff like that. They had more than one day. So he's like, you want to meet him? I'm like, yeah. So we go in there and they start talking. And like right when I go in there, they're talking about how they found a needle in his drawer, and he had supposedly been clean and shit like that. And homie was like, just, you know, he looked like Corey Haim, like he just looked normal. They start yelling at each other, and fucking he leaves. And when he leaves, he goes down to Venice and parties it up, I guess, down there. Fucking comes back with sleeve tattoos that he just got fresh on him in the middle of shooting a movie where he's supposed to be at the beach in a tank top. And they filmed half the movie already without the fucking tattoos. So homie was losing his mind. He's like, what the fuck are we gonna do, dude? Like, so there's like scenes in the movie where he's got long sleeve shirts on. That's like when they freshly were on him and stuff like that. So they both were like in that weird state. And then my other buddy, who happened to be with
Those
me
boys got molested like crazy from what I've seen on TV and whatnot.
from what I've heard from them on TV, but like I never sat down and talked to them about it or anything. Like when I did after that one,
Is it true you were molested?
Yeah, you know, I'm like, I'm good. Well, my one buddy told me he went over to court because he used to work at my homie used to work at the Playboy Mansion, and he was one of the servers at all the parties and stuff. And he got to meet Feldman like really well, and he invited him over to his house, and he was telling me like that Feldman's house was like a poor man's Playboy Mansion. Like it was like he had chicks everywhere. He called them Corey's Angels, and fucking they would like, you know, walk around half naked and stuff like that, and they would all be doing ecstasy and shit. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, let's go. I don't want to go to that party, dude. Like, let's go. He's like, nah, man, you don't want to be there. I'm like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Never took me though.
You probably didn't want to be there.
That's what he said. He's like, I don't want to be there.
They were Corey's angels.
Hey,
they weren't Fuzzy's angels.
They could. I'd have taken an angel that fell from heaven. If her wings got clipped, dude, I'd let her be fuzzy warm with me, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, good times. So, I don't know. I'm gonna, as far as doing a split up, I'll think about it this week. I don't know. I know that we've grown a lot in the last 2 months, and I don't know if I need it or not, but I don't know. Maybe I know that if I want to do it later on, I'll kind of kick myself for not having done it sooner, but I don't know. We'll see. But I've got some ideas for some different cool things. Some like cosplay stuff I might be doing, and some more. That G.I. Joe video I did hit like crazy. So some more G.I. Joe type stuff, especially because that's kind of what the brand I had built the show on in the first place. So I'm going to be doing some stuff with that. So it should be cool. And then, keep doing the stuff with you guys because I have probably the most fun. And plus the community that we get from doing this is really fun. And then we're going to have Fuzzy's true Comic-Con stories.
we got it. I'll see. We'll set it up. Maybe I could get like a witness or something to come in with me, and they could tell, like we could both tell the story from their perspective and my perspective and shit.
No, it could
like
be. I'm serious, dude. Like it would be like when Chappelle Show, Charlie Murphy had his Rick James stories or whatever, where Chappelle would just would play different random people in the thing. I can totally see reenacting Fuzzy's true Comic-Con stories. That would almost be worth being a channel. Like that would be a great comedy channel.
But I don't think we would have that many. Like there's some, but there's not that many. Like we would have to, like we could do like one where we do Like
Well, you know
five.
what? Each one of those could be a fucking hangover movie.
I've always said, dude, like if we could figure out, like I've talked to Jimmy like back in the day when I found out he was doing Amazing Comic Con. I kept trying to ask him like, so what would it like cost for us to film the whole time we were there? Like just film, like just. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, make a movie. I was like, make a legit like fucking movie. And where everyone that shows up is in the movie somehow, you know what I mean? And then our actors, we can do all their like close-ups and stuff like that.
Just film.
Well, you just, but then like you can't do it when the con's on because it's too loud. You wouldn't be able to hear the actors. So like if you have like a scene that with a guy at a booth, you just do it like a couple hours before the show starts or after it ends because it's all indoors, so the lights stay the same and shit like that. It doesn't change.
You could
need
just have
people in
you
the
could just have it
background.
work out to where you're walking through the con during the con, walk up to the booth during the con, and then the dialogue at the booth is reenacted after the con during the teardown.
Yeah, that's what you do. Is like you get everything that you got to get, but that's you can't do that. The problem with that is a lot of times when you go into a public place, you can't. If you show someone's face or something, you got to get them to sign shit. And when you're in a public
It's
place,
usually posted out at the doors of the cons.
yeah, no, and most people are cool with it, you know what I mean? But then you get that one fucking asshole that says, I didn't see the sign, I didn't fucking, you know what I mean? Like that's the problem with a lot of those things. That's why you don't see it all the time. Like if unless it's like obvious, like there's like TV crews and like shit like that around, like then
Like when I was on Toy Hunter.
yeah, exactly. But even then, if you notice on those shows like Toy Hunter, they don't show the people in the crowd. They show them from the neck down. It's always like them walking, and if it's someone,
I walked up.
I mean,
I knew that there was a Toy Hunter booth. I walked up, and Jordan Hembrough was there, and I had a genuine interaction with him, and I was like, "All right, cool." And then I went to walk away. They're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, come back! Can you do that again?" I'm like, I mean, I guess. And they had me do it again, and they edited it to where I bought the Storm blueprints when I had really bought the Rogue blueprints. And I actually ended up getting that Rogue mint on card, and I got it signed by the voice actress just at LA Comic Con.
Oh,
so
nice.
I might put it together with the blueprints. I might still end up making something of that.
But yeah, that right there is how it's done. You literally just showed people how fucking reality TV worked. Like, it's all bullshit. Like all of it, dude. Like if I was D celebrity, I'd let them do a reality show on me all day. Because you know how many vacations I'd get out of that motherfucker? They'd have to pay for and shit, dude. Like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, they literally give like the Kardashians and them like a list of things like, what do you guys want to do? And they just mark it off. I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. And then they figure out how to make a show around it and shit, That's it. I'm like, fuck, dude, I want to be a D celebrity so bad.
Yeah, this is as close as I'll come to it. I actually have gotten recognized cruising out there. I want to say it was like 6-7 years ago at WonderCon. So, you're Nate the Great from Collection Connection, aren't you? I'm like, which one of my union homies sent their little brother over here to fuck with me?
See, I never get recognized for being fuzzy. I always get recognized for being Joe Rogan or some shit like that. Like it's always the wrong person. And I just smile and nod and go, "Yep, that's me. How you doing?" The best one was whatever Ontario show we did with Lego. Lego was in my booth. And
that was the one where I had these comics signed.
May
22nd.
It was the one before that. It was the one where it was just Lego and me in the booth, and then Isaac and Steve had a booth like down at the other end. We were way in the back. Like it was one of our my first booth like I ever got, like ever. And we're sitting there, and me and Lego are trying to sell these mystery packs that I built, and we couldn't. And Lego was the only one selling them, so I was like, "Here, just take half the money, fool. You're doing all the work. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, just good job, thank you." But so I go walking over to Isaac to tell him, like, "Man, this sucks, dude. Like, this has been a shitty thing." And I'm talking to Isaac, and this guy spins me around real quick. He goes, "What radio show are you on?" And I was like, I'm not on any radio, dude. No, I know your voice, man. I know your voice. I was like, dude, I swear to God, I'm not in any fucking radio, dude. Like, I have a booth right there, dude. Like, he was literally about to, like, beat my ass if I wouldn't tell him what radio station I worked for. I was like, I swear to God, ask any of these motherfuckers. I don't work for a radio station and shit. It's like, oh, I don't know, man.
Fear Factor. He was hosting Fear Factor.
And
All
I
right,
don't see
guys. It's been 2 hours. Let's wrap this up. Thanks, people, if you're still watching. Tom Bod, JD Geek. Let's get that one next week. You guys want to try to squeak in another one?
I'm down.
I don't know if we can squeak in another one, but we'll knock out Tom Bod this week.
Okay,
You'll dig
for
it,
sure.
dude.
Plus,
Yeah, you'll.
Plus Willow episode 7. Yay!
Oh
Dude,
man,
watch that thing on Peacock. Tell Liz to watch it, especially. I know she'll dig it, dude. It's called J. I'll text it to you guys next, but it's the new like true crime documentary on Peacock, and it is one of the dopest, funniest things you'll ever see. My wife hates this shit, and she's sitting there laughing with me, like going, like, "Is this real?" And I'm like, "I swear to God, this is real." Like, it's gotta be some dude. Watch it, you'll dig it.
all right, guys.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
a lot. Happy
Love,
New
peace,
Year,
and chicken grease.
boys.
Later.
Bye.
Love, peace.